Guys, look at this. Look at PewDiePie. I'm gonna try and be respectful towards him because it's probably just one of his bots talking, right? But I want you guys to hear something that's right now that's actually happening. He's in Japan, okay? Okay, so he's in Japan, guys. This is what's actually happening. And my content is in Japan right now. Content of like this Alakazam Pokemon card. So basically, he's like moved out to Japan. I'm not in Japan, but he's moved out to Japan, okay? So this is what's really going on. Now, overall, I thought his review of Japan was pretty cool. Like, I mean, he's probably just talking about the problems with Japan, right? Right? But there's the problems and the benefits, just if you're making a trip to Japan, okay? This is what I mean. I was being nice to this guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being considerate. And this guy, this is too funny, guys. Dude, this is exactly what, like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's like, well, gee, what do I gain? I just gain nothing but, positive from this. I gain a positive from this. And now I can understand. Maybe PewDiePie likes Pokemon, okay? He's a gamer. Of course he probably likes Pokemon, okay? But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you where the Alakazam thing came about and how that came about. I made like this story a long time ago. It was a very passionate story about like how annoying Abra is to catch, and that was what many Pokemon fans loved because Abra was just like hanging out in Cerulean City, and every time you tried to go up to it, it would teleport. It used teleport, and you could do glitches with teleport. So you could glitch your game. You could actually take your game, glitch your game with teleport. Okay. Now the cool thing about Abra, and just like rather than just like looking at it through why it's inspired through me, the best part to look through with Abra, right, is like it had a whole, because there was this Mew. There's this crazy Mew glitch right next to it. And then you have Abra. And what's both Abra and Mew? They're both psychic types, okay? So that's the whole thing that's happening right now. Now, I also played Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And, you could catch Abras in that one too. There's there's even like DLC, you know what I'm saying? Like Pokemon Game Freak put their time and effort to making paid content for you, and it was really good because at that time it was like a trainer connected to Sabrina, and that's where it goes, not just through me. It goes through Sabrina, because Sabrina, to many Pokemon fans, that's why they enjoy playing Pokemon, especially when you play Let's Go Eevee and you go face Sabrina. It's pretty scary. It's a pretty scary area. Everybody knows it's a really scary area. So that's why this is all happening, guys. It was funny too, because originally what happened is I skipped Abra, right? So I skipped Abra, I went back to the town, and then I found Abra because I definitely wanted my Kadabra. I wanted Kadabra and Alakazam. I didn't like how your rival was battling you with a Kadabra. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh man, that's not fair. I want a Kadabra. But come on, there's already hard things to do too, guys. You gotta realize it's kind of hard to raise Abra if you're just gonna do him mandatory rather than no rare candies or anything. If you're just gonna do him like in a mandatory, which is most of the time you're gonna do, because rare candies are debuffs. But if you want to do the rare candy formula, by all means do that. That's a waste of time. But there's a what the heck is it? Okay, so like remember, there's also Magikarp. So Pokemon might be looking at somebody that looks at Magikarp, guys. And Magikarp was really hard to raise. That was a really hard little battle. Because I wanted to play the game through Gyarados. I wanted to play the game through Gyarados rather than just being handed my starter and handed my other Pokemon. So there's other concept ideas, and you have a huge, massive Pokemon following. You have Jay Witz, you have
You have females who love Pokemon. You know, you have a ton of people that appreciate Pokemon. Okay, so it's to get good with Pokemon, okay, guys, to get connected with Pokemon or Game Freak, you have to put in time because you see, many people skipped Pokemon Sword and Shield. They really did. They skipped Pokemon Sword and Shield. They went to Arceus, which was like, it was just a remake game essentially. It was just like a remake with new ideas, you know. But like Sword and Shield actually put in a lot of crazy ideas. I really liked the Articuno. I really like the design that they had for Articuno. They had the battles were good. The overmap was good. And there's now people that are even going back to Sword and Shield, dude. And Sword and Shield was just good. The only reason, like, seeing Pokemon fans have played so many hours of Pokemon, they speed warp. We do like speed runs. I've beaten Pokemon Blue in less than like a few hours. I've done that before. It's you just get really good at Pokemon, you know. But then when you actually like look at the designs, and then you looked at like Sword and Shield, they had that really cool. I always forget, it's like a drapey dragon. It shoots out creatures out of its mouth. I always forget the name because there's so many dang Pokemon names, guys. See what I'm saying? It's it's kind of like okay, so when you're playing a video game or you're getting into any kind of video game franchise, okay, you got to stop looking like a fanboy. You got to stop looking towards the game as like your opinions and all that, because you're going to have your opinions about it, but you're also going to have to play different video games, and you're going to have to find video games. It's going to be hard, guys. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to keep like it gets pretty frustrating, guys. I mean, like finding Recompile, I think finding Recompile for me, that took at least 3 months to find Recompile. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, after you're playing like a game, like after you're having a drought of video games and you're just like, you're trying to come up with an actual good idea in your head. Okay. You're just at that spot, you know, the Sonic community, even like PewDiePie talks about Sonic. Okay. So PewDiePie is probably a Sonic fan. Okay. He's probably one of those loyal Sonic fans. Okay. But you see, this is the biggest problem. Sonic is over demanding, guys. It's over demanding. A lot of people play Sonic. My ex-girlfriend played Sonic, okay? Sonic is just it's so odd because it can be good and it can be bad, right? It can be good and bad. And even when Sonic's bad, it's kind of good because that's why people talk about 06, you know? And definitely you're going to talk about 06 because it has glitches. Now, there's always another secret hiding. Yes, guys, there's another secret hiding. There is possibly a Sonic secret. And I definitely, it's really hard to assume if there is a secret in the coding, okay? In the coding of the Sonic game. But I will say it's pretty reasonable to say there is. I mean, we've already found Infinite, you know? See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't find Infinite. People found Infinite, you know? People had to like go out and find Infinite. And I thought it was cool that I could just even see Infinite, you know? I did. I saw that Infinite menu. That was cool. That was so cool. So, like, trust me, I've played Sonic Pinball. I've played Sonic CD. I really enjoyed Sonic Mania. And some people were actually critical towards Sonic Mania, but I thought it was cool how they did the little, like, you're going to win a prize. And they made the boss battle kind of grindy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And another thing too is like some people talk about this, but that's only if you're like a Sonic fan. Some people don't even talk about the Sonic DS RPG and that went up in price. Yeah. So I'll save you time. You probably, unless you're going to spend money, you're going to have to like spend, I want to say you probably like $40-$30, but if you could get it at $30, get it. But the reason I like the Sonic, okay, so I also paid attention to the comic books. Okay, I paid attention to the comic books. I paid attention to Sally. I really liked the idea behind Sally because it was like an American kind of aspect, and because some people are also like this too. They're like, well, why did I know about this Xena thing? Well, after watching like some episodes of Sally and Sonic, and seeing the intro, and just like looking at it. At first, I was not even like looking at games. You know what I mean? At first, I was not even like, I wasn't like, oh, there's no way this game could do this, right? But then I watched the intro because it's a cartoon. It's not like a video game, it's a cartoon. So I watched the intro, and then I was like, it was a lost intro, like a lost intro kind of thing. And then that was just enough. That was enough. It takes a long time, guys. It takes a ton of work. The Pokemon Team Rocket stuff. I'm trying to break that down for you guys. I really am. I'm trying to break that down for you guys. But it's gonna be hard because I want like the accurate part of it. Okay, because you gotta realize they have the cartoon show having a different squad of like they have Jesse and James. And then you got the original Team Rocket, like the Game Freak's Team Rocket. I'm always focused to Game Freak, but I've actually paid attention to the anime also, believe it or not. And I did watch the anime recently. But it's a to get your brain, like, because I know PewDiePie. I know he wants to know how my brain is this expansive. Like how do I see stuff like this? Well, I had here's the typical thing when you I'm gonna give a typical example. There's Final Fantasy VII, right? I'm not gonna just talk about Nintendo 64. I'm trying to get it down to you guys. There was Spyro, there was Crash Bandicoot, okay, and then there was a ton of games, dude. There's Jak and Daxter. There was the Works of Ico. There was Xbox games. There was Fusion Frenzy. You know what I'm saying? There was freaking Fusion Frenzy, guys. A party game that was really cool. There was Shadow the Hedgehog. There was all kinds of crazy things going on. There was Killer 7. Yeah, there was Killer 7. There was even an Atlas game that was only for the GameCube. But what made me like a little bit different from other people is they wanted to play Mario Sunshine so bad. And there's a love to play Mario Sunshine, okay? But I chose Zelda Wind Waker. And the reason I chose Zelda Wind Waker is because I was like, at first I was like, oh man, I wanted to be like Zelda Twilight Princess. As a kid, I was just like, oh man, I hope it's like these cool new games that they have, because Grand Theft Auto 3 was pretty cool, right? So Grand Theft Auto 3 was a broad audience to many people, okay? Like a broad audience of there was Grand Theft Auto 3, there's Final Fantasy 7, there was Final Fantasy 8, all kinds of stuff. Even Final Fantasy 4. If you guys really want to get core, there was Final Fantasy 4. But the way I got into Zelda Wind Waker was not just because I was into Zelda games, right? It was the idea. It was a complex idea because I loved Mario 64. But then I was like, man, Pikmin was actually a pretty good concept. And Pikmin 2 was a very good concept. And they were just shoving Mario down our throat. They were shoving Luigi's Mansion and Mario Sunshine. And I was like, something's not here. Did you know, some people are really, I'm telling you the truth, right now, people are replaying Metroid Prime 3. They are playing Metroid Prime 3. They were supposed to play Metroid Prime 3 when it came out. I was shocked how good Metroid Prime 3 was, guys. You can do weird things. You can glide. Yeah, you can glide. It was so weird. You could, glide to, this. The puzzles were good. But, it's it's not even, just, Nintendo games, too, because you had to pay attention to games like Matrix Path of Neo, and you're thinking, oh man, this is a movie game, you're like, I don't know, it's probably just gonna be a movie game. I probably just want to go and watch the movie or whatever. But it takes a lot of effort. Even my friend, he was playing Okami, and we got to play some Okami, and I was like, Okami was pretty good. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm here playing a game that's inspired by Zelda, Okami. Right? So, like it's not like easy to put in depth. Okay, it's not easy to put in research. And the problem is like I've been telling people this. I really haven't been telling you guys this. There's Final Fantasy like even I loved Final Fantasy 3. I love Final Fantasy 3. But like something weird was in my head. Like people were liking Final Fantasy, they were liking Phantasy Star. Okay? So they were liking those games. But then I was like, this is kind of distracting. Something's not right here. Why is Eternal Darkness out here, you know? Why is so it's like it's crazy. My other favorite thing was like, why was there a PS2 game? PS2 had some crazy games, hitting games too. It had SmackDown versus Raw 2007, which would have been ignored, but not just SmackDown versus Raw 2007. It had Monster Hunter, okay? So Monster Hunter on the PSP, right? And I was kind of like, at that time, I was like, something's not right here. Something does not feel right. And when you've played a game so many times, oh my gosh, you will not believe how many times I played Mario 64, PewDiePie, you and all these people. You will not believe how many times I played that dang game. I played a lot of Mario 64. And that's really hard to do. It's really hard to be like, you're going to go and play Mario 64 and be like, you know, you're going to go and be like, oh, I enjoyed Mario 64. But like to keep playing it, to keep trying to see something in it was really hard, dude. There's I was even kind of chill with Mario. Did you guys know that? I was chill with Mario 64. I could have done speed runs and all that, but I was chill with it. I played Resident Evil 4, guys. I played freaking Resident Evil 4. I played Resident Evil 0, played Resident Evil 2, played Resident Evil 1, a little bit of 3. But that's the branch. See, that's the branch of fan bases. You got Final Fantasy, you got Persona fans, right? I stayed with the Shin Megami Tensei series too. The Persona series was good, but I stayed with the Shin Megami Tensei series because as hard as it is, like, you know, just to be like, oh man, I want to play some Persona. And I enjoy Persona, but like the problem is when you're playing Devil Survivor and then you're trying to play Persona, right? It's two different things. And it's like, just because it's a Shin Megami Tensei universe thing, that's the problem too, is Kayuyaka or Kyra is such a game, you know. It's a game that any gamer will play. It's just like Soul Hackers, it's just like Enemy Zero. Those are the games you'll play, right? But like, people got the idea. They were like, well, and I enjoyed Persona. I actually did. People didn't know that. I enjoyed the first Persona. I did. I enjoyed it. I didn't get to play that much of it, though, you know. So I had to play different games. And, you know, one of the different games I played that everybody mentions, and I've noticed this is what people mention. They're like, why are you playing Banjo-Kazooie? And I was like, why not am I not playing Banjo-Kazooie? Banjo-Kazooie was the best option for me. That was the best option for me, guys. Like I mean, there was way too many platformers, but Banjo-Kazooie, I was like, I'm gonna stick to Banjo-Kazooie. You know, and there's people who have even like JonTron, and there's been people they've deep dived into the eggs, you know, and we still don't know what the eggs are really for, you know. So we're like sitting here, and because like Banjo-Kazooie just comes off as like a third-party game, you know? It comes off like, oh, this is not a first-party Sony, Nintendo, Xbox game. This is just like a third-party. And people are critical of like the pre-footage. The pre-footage of Banjo-Kazooie scared them. So they were scared of the pre-footage of Banjo-Kazooie. But, you know, people have not... People have been critical on Yooka-Laylee. I'm not afraid to even say that, because I know JonTron's been critical on Yooka-Laylee. But I'll tell you what, I do like Yooka-Laylee, and it's kind of that sometimes you can be really critical on the game. You really can, and you're not going to be able to see recompile. You're not gonna see Recompile. You're not gonna see other video games. You're just gonna be like, you're not gonna see Barbie on the Game Boy. You know, you're not gonna see. You're not gonna see some Batman game on Sega. You know, if you just continuously, if you're continuously. I even know PewDiePie. He likes Grand Theft Auto 5. See, like I already know what I'm working with this guy. Okay, he likes Grand Theft Auto 5. Does he like it a lot? Probably not. I mean, but he probably enjoys it, right? But you're like, everybody is so close. You get what I'm saying? I understand from PewDiePie's aspect. I understand from a lot of people's aspect. But think about it. I'm telling you guys the truth. I was just, just watching, observing Sonic CD. And I was just like, just watching The Secret in Sonic CD. And I was, that's the thing. Like, because people always focus to core Sonic, they want to focus to original Sonic. Okay. Sonic 1, 2, 3, and CD. And Spinball. And even the 3D game is a nice little niche. Even though it's not like really a game, because you're just seeing previews and stuff, but it's a nice little niche. I love the word niche. There's a what the heck is it? I gotta try and end with this too, because there's just so many games. Klonoa, guys. Okay, now we're gonna get into it. Okay, so I was pretty mad that we weren't gonna get Klonoa 3. We didn't. Somehow we get remakes of Klonoa, but I wanted Klonoa 3. I was like, man, Klonoa was a pretty good project. It was even put on the Game Boy Advance. It was a good game series, and it's really like it's funny when you play Klonoa, because Klonoa is not like a Nintendo game or like that. Klonoa has a funny aspect where it says to you, like, where he's like, I wish I had my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says that to you, and you're just like, huh? You're kind of like, what? What did you just say to me? He said he wishes he still had his friends. Like, friends.